You are listening to 40 Weeks with Vanessa Merton, host of the Pregnancy Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. Welcome to weeks 1 and 2. You will see in just a second why we combine these 2 weeks into one episode. Week 1 is actually the week of your last period before you get pregnant. You ovulate and conceive around week 3. So let me backtrack and explain how this week by week thing works. Pregnancy is measured in 40 weeks, which really works out to be 10 months, not 9. So the 40 weeks is broken up into 3 trimesters. The first trimester covers weeks 1 through 12. The second trimester covers weeks 13 through 27. And the third trimester covers weeks 28 to 40. Although you can actually go a total of 42 weeks if your baby decides not to arrive on their due date. So the first 2 weeks is really just your body doing what it normally does every month to prepare in the event that you do get pregnant. If you're preparing to try and get pregnant, there are definitely some things that you can start doing now. Go ahead and start popping a prenatal vitamin if you have not already. I have a link to the prenatal vitamin that I like. I read a lot of different labels before picking that one, so a link for that will be in the show notes and it's on our resources page. And now is an excellent time to give up booze, smoking, drugs, recreational and over-the-counter, and to start working on a healthy diet and exercise routine. If you may not be the healthiest person right now, do not stress over it. A lot of women find out that they are pregnant before they implement a healthier lifestyle, and babies are perfectly healthy. It's never too late. Today is a fantastic day to start. If you are working on getting pregnant now, you can estimate when your due date would be by adding about 9 months to today's date. This is a rough estimate, but you can at least pinpoint the time of year that your little bundle of joy would be arriving. The origins of how a due date is calculated are pretty archaic, and at some point this formula should probably be updated. That is probably a conversation for another time, but for now, the most widely accepted formula, and the one most doctors and midwives use, is based on the date that you started your last period. Babies definitely don't always make an appearance on their due date, and it really is just an estimate. Don't worry, your little one will make an entrance to the world when they are ready. There is a lot to learn and a ton of decisions to make throughout your pregnancy and once your little boy or girl is here. The fact that you are tuning into this podcast is a great indicator that you are on top of it. Do not stress. The amount of information to consume can be overwhelming in the beginning, but don't worry, you have plenty of time to get everything figured out. Lucky for us, there's also a lot of instinctual stuff that kicks in too, so nature arms you with some tools that you probably don't even know that you have yet. A tip for dad: get ready. You probably don't even know that you're going to be a dad, but it is going to be an amazing ride. So get ready because you are in for an epic adventure. There is an episode on the Pregnancy Podcast all about you and what you can expect on this journey at pregnancypodcast.com/episode 13. We cover how you can deal with some of the symptoms your girl is going through, sex, yes, you can still have sex, and what you can do to prepare to be a dad. Thank you so much for tuning in. Show notes for this episode can be found at pregnancypodcast.com/week1. Next week is when things really begin. And until then, I wish you the very best for your pregnancy journey. There are so many awesome resources available to you at pregnancypodcast.com. And you can sign up with your email address and your due date to get a weekly email with a link to the episode for your specific week every week in your inbox. I look forward to seeing you in the Pregnancy Podcast Facebook group, which is a great place not only to connect with some other parents-to-be, but also to be able to ask questions and get answers specific to things that you are dealing with and planning for your pregnancy and birth.